This first deleted scene takes place very early in the picture. In the first scene at the bridge, which isn't shown here, when Liev Schreiber's character, Stuart, runs away from Leopold, he drops a ballpoint pen. This scene of Leopold in the bathtub was kind of a follow-up to that, where he's held on to this bank pen and is clicking it obsessively and not paying attention to the fact that he has to get ready for the gala tonight where he's supposed to pick a bride. It also later introduces his drawer.
But I have a word, Your Grace.
What is it?
You've made it quite clear you're dreading the gala, but may I propose we try to make the best of it?
This scene, as you can see, isn't short, and it kind of put a little bit of a drag on the front end of the film. And it also seemed like most of what you learn here is stuff you can glean from other scenes in the picture. It is the only place you hear this line.
There's also the heart. They say love is a leap.
Do they? Perhaps one day I shall take such a leap, Otis.
As I said in the commentary on the main section of the film, that idea that love is a leap was very important to me. That was actually one of my biggest regrets in losing this scene, although it does get mentioned elsewhere in the film.
Ah, Miss Blaine, you dance like a herd of cattle. You are a rare woman who lights up a room simply by leaving it.
This scene follows the scene of Liev Schreiber falling down the elevator shaft. You then cut to Hugh Jackman figuring out how to shave, and then you return to the elevator shaft here and find Liev lying at the bottom. This was a way, when I wrote it, of just communicating that he wasn't dead, first of all. Since he had fallen a couple stories, I was a little nervous in the writing that you'd think he had died. But again, it's a minute-long scene, and one of the lessons I never stop learning making movies, or maybe I should say I never have learned making movies, is that scenes like this have to be very short in order to work. And it took too long for such a simple gag, because this scene with Meg and Hugh getting together was the one we were waiting for. This is a very brief scene, which kind of reaffirmed the idea of Leopold having invented the elevator, and also kind of just confirmed it for the audience, and also allowed us to see for once Leopold's own astonishment at seeing his invention fully realized and understanding what it was that Stuart was referring to the previous day.
Right there. That's where I found them. I see.
Again, just a very simple scene, but also another 30 seconds in the film, and we were trying to get it down in length a little bit. Comedies don't tend to run over 2 hours. Not very well, anyway.
Oh, dear.
This is a very lovely scene, I thought, but also, again, one in our effort to tighten things up that didn't end up belonging, in which we kind of just revisit and reaffirm Leopold's affection for his manservant Otis. And when we come upon Leopold on the couch alone after fighting with Meg, after the fight at the margarine commercial, he just remembers his father figure and his only friend in the past.
A glass of brandy before bed, Your Grace.
Oh, thank you.
Very well, then. Good night.
Otis.
It was a very nice scene also to just communicate that there were some things that he did miss about the past. Again, you know, if all of these were in, this would be a 2-hour and 15-minute romantic comedy, which I do believe is pushing the boundaries. This is, of course, because we had that bath scene that we shot for the front end of the picture. When we got into the cross-cutting at the rear of the picture, I shot a version of the bath scene that would show the embittered Leopold, having returned from the modern world.
What is it?
You've made it quite clear you're dreading the gala, but may I propose we try to make the best of it? They say love is a leap.
Well, I say love is a lie.
Hugh Jackman is just great. Maybe I compliment my actors too much, but he is. Just a great, amazing actor.
Twisted, but what I never considered is that the whole thing is a pretzel.
This is just a wonderful segment of Bradley Whitford just going to town. And I should just let him talk. Bradley and I just whispered to each other, and because I had a period of time where Meg was upstairs running into Stuart and Charlie, I wanted to have Bradley saying something downstairs, and I invited him to tell a story about a little girl and Farmer's Bounty margarine, and I just think what Bradley did here was so hilariously intense that it deserved to be on the disc and witnessed by all mankind.
And maybe it's because I didn't have what all the other kids had that I learned that there was one thing that I could do, and it didn't require money, and it didn't require...
When Bradley finished doing this improvised story, the entire crew lost it.
Wrong with that. I am a people pleaser, people. You know, every night when I go to bed, I take an image with me of a little girl, little chubby girl. Maybe she doesn't have everything all the other kids in the neighborhood have. Maybe...
What Bradley and I were after with this crazy little adventure of shooting this made-up little speech was just also the self-important bullshit of the modern corporate culture. These moments where we all get together and kind of Oprah-style confess these moments of suffering in our past and important touchstones and ways we somehow view ourselves helping humanity by selling and hurling products around. And it was really important to me in some way to try and build towards a distaste for our modern way of thinking, for the audience itself, that we all wanted to go back to Leopold's time because what we were witnessing here was just a little too much. Insanity. This was a tying up of the great-great-grandfather issue in the movie. You'll see, it'll speak for itself. I elected to keep it out because I wanted to keep the energy toward them getting together and not kind of flummox it with any new information, but...
Wait a minute, Stuart. If Kate goes back and marries Leopold, doesn't that mean she's your great...
We're gonna have to make a run for it. Let's go.
Meg's expression, though, was fantastic there. Of course, with the amount of nervousness about that whole issue, that was not something that was destined to end up in the movie.